Hello everybody and welcome to episode 3 of Senioritis version 2022. My name's Maria Wood and I'll be your co-host today with my co-host Reese Hurd. So let's get right into it and talk about the stress not only of the holiday season but the stress of the school year around the holiday season. For some reason, to me and probably for you too, because we're in a lot of the same classes, everything is just being dumped on us at once for whatever reason.
I second that. I'm gonna have to agree. It's so bad, and it somehow gets worse and worse every year. Whenever I think that's like, oh, we have a test this day and this day this week, so there's no way there won't be any more huge assessments before vacation, which we only have like 5 more school days left until. No, that is so not true. That is so not true. They'll give us as much as they can, and I hate how it is somehow our problem that the term is coming to a close or that progress reports are coming out. Like, if a teacher doesn't have enough grades, it's somehow our issue because they need to pile on a bunch of random busy work to get more grades into the grade book to fill in, you know?
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it too. Not only the busy work, but the weight of the assignments, because I recently had an essay due in my Euro class, which we had a week to do, so it was perfectly fine. We had a good timeline and people spread it out. And then it just hits like a test in this class, and I don't think I had another essay, but just so many different things. I had 2 tests and an essay all due in the same week, and I was also in the musical, and so that was tech week going every single night until like 9:30, 10. And it's just like, you kind of have to pick and choose almost what you want to complete if you can't complete everything, because people have outside lives outside of school, and it's like, am I gonna finish my 100-point essay that I'm gonna get a 0 on if I don't turn it in, or am I gonna forego, a 3-point homework? It's kind of, and I've been in that situation.
Exactly. It sounds terrible because I know we both try to be as good of students as possible, but I've had to make decisions recently on which assignment do I have to do more, because there's no way I have time to do both. I have to just pick which one that I'm gonna fail and which one that I'm gonna pass.
Yep.
It's so awful because I know that I can't do both. Like, I have a job, I do this, we have school, and you have a bunch of crap anyways, like you just said, the musical. We have to literally choose which to fail and which to pass because we only have time for one of them, not all.
And to think that, I got everything done, luckily. I still have work to do because, like you were saying earlier, we have 4.5 days left of school. But at the same time, it's like, why? I almost wish teachers, and like you said, this has been happening every single year and it only seems to get worse as we get older. I don't understand why, maybe they do and we don't know about it, but I don't understand why teachers don't collaborate on whether, like, when their due dates are. Because I remember freshman year, some teachers would be like, oh, do you have this on this day? Because I'll like cross that out for this class and we can have our test the next day. That has not happened in 3 years for me since freshman year.
Yeah, I can't remember I remember teachers doing that, but I can't remember the last time it happened. They have the opportunity to talk to each other and ask, what are your students doing? Because they know that even in like honors classes, they all have the same kids.
Yep.
So they should talk to each other and be like, oh, the kids have a test on this day, don't have an essay due on the same one. And they're like, yeah, that's probably a good idea because these are children and we don't want to stress them out to the point where they're like sobbing constantly every day, and where the anxiety rates of kids our age are like skyrocketed. So, I don't see why they can't collaborate with each other. There's no reason not to.
I can see my only sympathy towards that is that, as we were talking about earlier, there's grade books, and if they have upcoming assignments for us, then they have a certain structure, they have a certain thing, oh, this test due this day, this essay due this day, you have to finish this reading by this date. That's fine. That's like a predetermined structure, whatever you want to call it, that they have to follow because that's what's in their syllabus of what we have to do in a certain time period. Like my AP Euro class, we have to get through a certain chapter by next week, which is why we have like a discussion and an exam in the same week. We have to get through it if we want to be able to study in time for the AP exam, because the way we finish this chapter that's upcoming will impact all of the other chapters.
See, that is true. I agree. That's the only thing that I can think of. It's just terrible for us, and especially even during Christmas. I feel like I can never really enjoy this season just because of how crazy it is with school and just everything in general, especially with senior year.
Yep.
It's already, the 16th, and I haven't even been able to, like, actually say to myself, oh, it's Christmas, like, relax, enjoy the season, pretty lights and whatever. It's supposed to be a happy time of year, but it never is for anybody, and it makes me sad.
Yeah, relax has not been in my vocabulary lately. I think once the half day hits, like in Miss McHugh's English class, like she said, we're gonna do something fun, still related to the stuff we're doing with the stories and theme and all of that. But like, she's like, yeah, we're gonna do something fun in class. And to just hear that instead of, oh, have this assignment done for me by June. I wish it was June. January, whenever we come back, 2nd, 3rd, 1st, I don't know. Just to hear that, like, oh, you're doing a fun activity, it's just a huge weight off our shoulders.
I was so happy to hear that too. She told us in class today, and I was like, really? I was almost in shock because no one tells us that anymore. Mm-hmm. I remember in 8th grade, we made these like snowflake things out of paper, and I was like, where is that?
Yeah.
Why did it go away?
Yeah.
Please.
I get the whole thing about, oh, we're young adults, we don't really do that stuff anymore. But again, same point being reiterated, we're still children. The people that are 18 are not necessarily, just because we're 18 and 17 doesn't mean we're acting like adults yet. That doesn't mean we can necessarily handle the pressures of being an adult. Like, we're still in school. We still need to chill out a little bit. The good thing is, I think some teachers, hopefully the majority, I can't speak for everyone, do realize the pressure that we have on us, because I got an extension and the whole class got an extension on a huge essay that we had in Euro. And I think people are afraid to ask for extensions because, yes, there are the people that abuse deadlines, and if there's a teacher that it's like, oh yeah, you can have a couple extra days to do X, Y, Z, then they'll either take that time and use it wisely, or they'll way overstep it, and then the teacher won't do anything about it because that's just, they don't feel like they need to.
Right. The people that abuse it always ruin it for everyone. Like, people will leave a vague description, oh, a few days you can have more to do this, but a few days usually means around like 2 or 3. Other students will take it to a whole new level and do it in like 2-3 weeks and be like, I don't know why you took points off this, Mrs. Whatever. What was the reason for you doing that? And she's like, well, you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, I mean, I just really hope that this holiday season, I think this one's one that everybody needs, because last holiday season was the first one, again, we're going back to COVID, the first one where people weren't necessarily able to be with their families or able to have like those holiday parties or normal get-togethers of years past. So I'm hoping that this one is like, this is the first holiday season, not back from COVID, but do you know what I mean? Like on the lesser end of it.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I'm super excited to actually do things because last New Year's Eve was so weird. I just sat with like my mom and my stepdad, and I think my sister was there, when I'm usually, used to having parties on New Year's Eve, and it was just nothing. And I was like, wow, this is weird, this is sad, I hate it. We keep saying that. Every episode we keep saying that.
I know. And it's just like, I want to say, do we have an extended break this year? Not extended, but is it like longer than usual because we have the 23rd and like maybe those extra 2 days?
We do, because we have the 23rd, A and B. It depends on where January 1st falls. It falls right before the weekend. So I don't think go back until the 3rd or 4th, because it falls on a weekend. So we have like Saturday, Sunday.
That's nice.
Because normally we'd go back on the 2nd, but the 2nd is like during the weekend, so we can't. So we just extend it until that Monday.
Yeah, I've never liked that, because I've always like had New Year's Day, and it's like, okay, yeah, it's the new year, happy 2020, whatever, like the new year. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, school. I feel like it hits so fast. So I'm just like, New Year's Day, because it still almost kind of feels like you're still in like that Christmas mood, at least I am. But then you just have to go to school the next day. So I'm glad that we're doing it that way this year.
I am too. It feels like they waste absolutely no time to like rush us back into the stress of school. I was talking to one of my friends from work the other day, and she was like, oh, when do you get out? And I was like, the 22nd or the 23rd. And she goes, when do you go back? And I was like, well, it's late this year, but normally right back on the 2nd. And she was shocked because we barely get a break. Like, as soon as they possibly can, they just shove us right back into it. And it's just awful. Right January 2nd, they're like back into it. Why?
Yeah.
College kids have a whole month off.
I can't believe that. And honestly, besides like the split up 49-minute periods, like you have spread out classes. That's so crazy to think. Granted, they have finals. And a lot of people that I know in college are like, oh, or freshmen, so class of 25, are like, we never had finals in high school. So it's just like hitting us full force. So I think that's the reason for the enormous break, because you're taking everything that you've learned from the end of August until December, accumulating it in this huge test, and it might be, 25% of your grade? I don't know how schools do it, but
I'm concerned for those. I really am.
Yeah.
I see TikToks and videos of people sobbing,
cramming,
complaining, everything, and I'm like, oh God.
Yeah.
We don't even have quarterly exams anymore, and that was even a lot, and that was just quarterly. So that's like half of what they're doing. And I remember we usually have it for math and science, right? We did before.
I don't think we even had it for science. The only quarterly I ever took was in math that I remember.
We took quarterlies in Miss Farias's class.
I don't remember taking those.
You don't remember the chemistry quarterlies?
No. Not at all. I only remember taking them in Miss Bates's class freshman year.
I wish I could forget. I'm just not a math person. I'm good at it, but my brain doesn't flow that way. I hate it so much.
It's a good thing you're not going into a business or STEM major then.
That's true. That's very true. I really hope that we can do other activities in other classes besides English. Just like fun little activities and stuff the day before Christmas. Because I know they only want little kids to do it, and they say that we don't care, we don't like it anymore. But that's not necessarily true. I think that everyone at some point in their life should be doing those activities every now and then, no matter how childish.
Yep.
Because for kids, it's like amusing, colors, just fun, slacking off. But for kids our age, it serves a different purpose.
For sure.
It's more stress relieving than anything else, which we need so much.
Yeah.
So why do they get rid of it? I feel like that's stuff we need all the time.
And heck, maybe I want to feel like a little kid. Like maybe I just want to forget about my job and my grades and everything that's due, and maybe I just want to forget all about that and like color in a Santa hat for 15 minutes. Like it's just like you were saying, the little kids, it's just so simple to them. Like maybe everyone needs to go back to that at some point. You can't just be like going. Which is ironic because that's really what the holiday season is all about. It's a mixture of relaxing and kind of getting the gifts, decorating trees, seeing your family. Like, it's interesting.
It's like a whole mix of all of the extremes.
Yeah.
It's like for the whole month leading up, it's like run, crazy. Your brain is constantly going and never shuts off. You're moving around all the time. And then once Christmas hits, you don't move for like a week. That's funny.
I know. Trying to think. I feel like New Year's is really underrated because I was thinking about how you brought up your New Year's parties and we'd have the sleepovers and everything, and really just thinking back to last New Year's, I was so happy to see 2020 gone, and then once midnight hit, I was like, what if it happens all over again? It's so crazy to think about that whole possibility. I think some people underestimate the value of, this is gonna sound so cheesy, but another 365 days. And after having a year like 2020,
oh God,
it was just literally you don't realize the value of an entire new year until you have a year like that.
I know. I mean, some of it's socially constructed, but then other parts I feel like we definitely need. As humans, even if we created it ourselves, we need this sort of restart button where we can just hit it and figure out what we need to do, move on, put some stuff behind us. Because I feel like if we didn't have something like that in our lives, a lot of us would just dwell on what has happened before and keep staring at the past instead of looking forward, you know?
Yeah. I think that's the whole social construct thing you're saying, because you see all of these people on Instagram and Snapchat, New Year, new me, New Year resolutions, and then people get on each other, or maybe not, but they get on each other for not fulfilling those New Year resolutions or saying that they're going to be a completely new person and they're going to restart. And it's almost like a pressure to do that. But at the same time, like you said, it is a really good thing to kind of just start over okay, new year, don't forget about what happened last year, but if there's anything good going on, keep it going. And if there's anything you want to change, now's the time to do it.
Exactly. Like, a New Year's resolution doesn't necessarily have to be, I'm going to go to the gym this many times a week, and then they forget about it in a month. It can also just be, like, accepting what's happened to you and how you felt and the emotions that you've gone through for the past year, and just being like, okay, I've gone through this. I don't have to forget about it, but I can't let it define me. Now I'm going to keep going to new things.
Yeah.
So I think that aspect of New Year's is a lot better than the social media, socially constructed, like, rules you're going to make for yourself that you never follow through with. I like that so much better.
I have to say, once, like, 4th grade passed, maybe, when we stopped doing those, like, New Year's resolutions things, when they made us write them out, I really didn't do it anymore because I didn't feel obligated to fulfill something that I wrote out. What was I, 10 years old? Is that how old you are in 4th grade? Yeah.
Yes.
Like, you write something out. Oh, I'm gonna be nicer to my sisters. I'm gonna do my laundry more. It's like, you don't really have those huge plans for the future where you're gonna make, like, mountain moving changes to your life.
You don't do anything mountain moving or changing at 10 years old.
Yeah.
But can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Were you nicer to your sisters?
Did
you do the laundry more?
I might have, maybe not the laundry. I did. I mean, the fights with my sisters were
They
inevitable.
don't stop.
They were just gonna happen.
They're just gonna happen. Oh God. Anyways, New Year's, underrated but also awful for people sometimes.
Why do you say that?
Awful because I see posts on social media and I'm getting annoyed about, like, I'm gonna be a whole new person.
Okay, yeah.
Like we were talking about a second ago.
Yeah.
Fake people.
No,
Why?
there are some people, I have to say, there are some people that genuinely annoy me, like you just said, that's like, they're gonna literally, they claim to change themselves into an entirely new person, especially the people that aren't great people, if you know what I'm talking about, that genuinely just put up this front that they're like, oh, I'm gonna be a better person, I'm gonna treat people nicer. And then they're literally just doing it for the clout. They're just posting it to be like, here I am.
I know the type of people you're talking about who, like, I don't understand. I mean, I do understand how some people want to get with trends or something like that, but I don't understand the people who work so hard to create this, like, perfect aesthetic, like, persona front image that everyone sees. And it has to be perfect every single day, every single time. All of their emotions and responses to, like, other people, it has to all correlate and connect to, like, that one central idea about their personality. And it just doesn't. Why do you need to create this, like, fake wall? Is it fun for you or what?
I think it's partially that, based on the people I've seen that do that. I think it's partially that added on top of the whole ideal that who you're talking to right now, I might be a little different at home. I might be different in the classroom. I might be, and people have all of these different fronts, like you said, but at the same time, like, there has to be a central point. Like, if you're a different person so much to the point that when you're with friend A, they don't recognize you with friend B, that's crazy.
That's a problem. It really is. So a lot of it is insecurity too. I feel like it's so awful with people our age. Like, even I fall victim to hating myself.
Oh, of course. Me too.
Constantly, I'm just like, wow, why am I like this? Senioritis also.
Oh yeah, it's hitting us hard, and I think especially after we graduate, we're going to see maybe what's the high school reunion? 5 years, I think the normal is.
Maybe.
I think we're gonna see really who changes and who stays the same, which is gonna be insane. Because maybe the school environment is gonna change people. Maybe people chose the school environment to change themselves, or maybe they chose the school because it fit their personality so perfectly and they don't want to. So it's really just like a whole growing experience, a growth experience, and it's going to be interesting to see. Maybe not even in 5 years, maybe even a year from now.
I know, I'm excited for that.
I am too.
Well, I think we're running low on time. Is there anything else you wanted to add to that? Because I'm all good.
I'm just excited for the holiday season. I want to relax, but I also want to get into the holiday hype. I want that mixture.
I do too. All right, thank you guys so much for watching our 3rd episode. Merry Christmas if we don't film another one before then, and also have a great day.